Hey friends, I wanted to touch base with you all. I know that right now everyone's freaking the fuck out. I know I've been freaking the fuck out. I know everyone I've been talking to has been freaking the fuck out. And it's such an interesting time to be alive. I think looking at all of the coronavirus stuff from a macro spiritual level has been a saving grace for me. It's helping me try to make sense of it, of this chaos. It's helping me to feel calm that some sort of greater plan is at work here, I believe. That's what I believe. Obviously, I don't want beings to suffer. I don't want humans to hurt. I hate this fear and grief process we're all going through collectively. You know, a lot of people saying, I wish this wasn't happening, or I wish it would go away. You know, that's denial. Or I'm so angry, or I just wish, like, this needs to be over. I don't want to have to do this. Or people just not helping other people out by staying home. There's just a lot of people every single person who's alive right now who is paying at least a little bit of attention is affected right now. And I mostly want to talk to those of us who are sober or in recovery or struggling with mental illness or mental health stuff more severely than the normal population, because right now is our time. My dudes, it is our time to shine. Like, we've been doing this work a lot. I think a lot of us have been. And I realized something through my grief process over the past few weeks. I was spending a lot of time in my body, like in heightened body anxiety. And if you know what that feels like, or maybe if you don't, it feels like your chest is tight, or like everything is so tense, like my back. I don't know why, but I carry it all in my back and in my chest. And so I was just having such a hard time. Even when I was meditating, I would just get so in my head about how I was breathing and wondering, I must be breathing differently, you know, this must be the virus, that kind of stuff. And it felt kind of cruel that this practice that's supposed to calm me down was only making me more anxious. And it made me realize that I needed to do some serious fucking work to chill out and get through this. And so then what happened to really zen me out and just like bring me peace and stability and calm me the fuck down was one of my partners is ill. They have a sore throat, they don't feel good, and they're staying home from work. And I was social distancing and self-quarantining anyway because I can. And as soon as they told me they were sick, it was like the worst thing that my body had been anticipating happened. And I was able to just kind of let go and be like, well, whatever's meant to happen now will. And I really prayed a lot that day and decided, to just give it all over to God and be like, I trust that what's happening right now is for the greatest good of the greatest amount of people in the greatest way. I just trust that about the universe and about God, because every time I've done that and I've just let go and let myself take inspired action by listening to my gut and letting go of the how are things going to work out? How are we ever going to go back outside and gather together? How are we going to connect with each other? How am I going to feel safe again? I just let go of those big questions so that I could just focus on what's in my control. And what's in my control is to listen to my gut and to take care of myself and to connect with other people and to take care of other people when I can. That was a really big moment of clarity for me. It brought me a lot of joy to realize that I have a lot of tools as a recovered, sober person. I've been practicing for this. I have my whole toolkit of self-care. I know what to do, how to journal. I know how to soothe myself and take care of my body when I'm overwhelmed and anxious and depressed and fearful. I know how to have a joy practice, like how to just dance half naked in my apartment. and to music, and like just have the best time by myself. I know how to make art, and I know how to slow down and be alone with myself. And I think that a lot of us who've had to do this work to recover have practiced this. We've practiced social distancing because we had to do it in order to recover. And now we just have to do it again and not have the choice to go and meet with people in person. And maybe it's a time for us to go a level deeper in the work that we had been doing. Maybe it's time to get really quiet and figure out what creatively we need to birth right now. What a blessing that we have this time to slow down collectively as a group of humans. For better or worse, I know it might be insensitive to those who are without work or without income and are suffering from illness and from the virus and all of that. I'm not trying to downplay the significance of and the pain and the suffering that a lot of people are experiencing right now. I fully feel it. As an empath, I feel all of it that's happening, and that's why I got so overwhelmed. And still, I choose to be light, and I choose to look for my higher power, and I choose to not succumb to the darkness, and I choose to look at the darkness and to ask myself what I need in those moments and try to figure out, where is my health anxiety coming from? Is that because I haven't done enough work to really reconcile with death? That's some heavy shit. And I think, what an opportunity to get curious when all this stuff is coming up. I know it can be a little spooky to be alone with yourself for an extended period of time. It freaks me out too sometimes, So go outside, connect with people over coffee. I just had a virtual lunch with a friend of mine, and I took a long walk outside yesterday, and I'm just, we're taking it one day at a time. If that phrase has ever been more true, it's right now. Take it 1 minute at a time if you have to. Like, if shit is really tense for you and scary, take it 1 second at a time. It's just going back to what we know. We know how to do this. We've been preparing for this. I trust that you know how to do it. I was telling my friend who's been experiencing a really intense grief process. She lost her job through this, and she also works at a facility that helps with the homeless population in Detroit, and she's been really struggling with going in to help and also reconciling with her own pain and grief and just being tired and not being able to show up for other people right now. And what I shared with her is that you really cannot pour from an empty cup. And we don't have to be martyrs in this kind of work or in this kind of relating to other people. We have to focus on ourselves right now, and sometimes that means not ignoring what's happening. In order to get through those uncomfortable, painful feelings, we have to sit down and sit with them and look at them, just like with any other work that you've ever done. It's the same process. It doesn't mean that it's changed just because it's something crazy like a pandemic. It's the same tools that you have. You sit down, you get really quiet, you journal it out, you start to look at it, you use your tools, you talk to your therapist, you read the books, you listen to the music, you sit on it, you think through it, you just let it be so that you can go through it faster. Because if you ignore it, and if you pretend like it isn't happening, or if the denial is there, or you're just so caught up in the panic and anxiety that you're not able to even hear yourself think, it's going to take longer. It's going to be harder. It's going to hurt more. And I finally got that 2 days ago when I had this moment of clarity, like, oh my God, I actually know how to do this. I know how to get through this. And I believe that a lot of you do too. So I hope that this video, it's just a little message from me to you. I believe in you. I believe you can get through this. I believe that you can go through this period and emerge from it even more in like a deeper relationship with yourself. At least that's my anticipation and what I'm hopeful for this period, that a lot of people collectively are becoming more conscious to themselves. And you, as someone who's done the work or is starting to do the work, can help lead the way. And I look forward to seeing how you do it. Okay, I I love you. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Bye.